Привет из Сингапура. С вами передача «Голубь мира», где разбираем крутые навыки. Спрашиваем на английском, отвечаем на русском. Подтягивайте язык или смотрите перевод в тайм-кодах. Let's talk about objections and let's start with the definition.
Objections, that is a way of people behave when they are not happy with choice you offer them, or when they have another point of view, or their opinion doesn't equal to yours. There is a saying in English, complain as a gift. As a gift. I would say objections is also as a gift. When you are offering to someone something, you should very careful listen their objections, not to reject them, but to think how could you improve your offer next time? How could you improve your language next time? How could you make your words more powerful next time?
So when we're looking into objection in order to receive it or in order to give it, what are the fundamentals or building blocks it may have?
First level, there is a thing that we often listen to other people to answer, but not to accept their opinion. First level is to think carefully: is it objections relative to the subject, or this is just taken from the air? Second level, objections could be based on emotions, and you work with emotions, not by ratio, not by logic. You just come the person and do not try to deny his or her objections. And last question: when these objections are made by a professional and they are very sophisticated and they are partly true, then you should take it into account to improve your, for example, selling presentation or your pitch.
So in order to be a very efficient objector, or maybe even the person who actually can resist and work with the objections, what kind of levels of mastery we might be looking at?
First level, you just make objections on objections with a smile on the face. It's very easy, but this is not so comfortable because other people could think that maybe you are a little mad. Second level, you are trying to listen what the people say, and you're trying to find weak points in their constructions and attack it to make them understand that you listen, you understand, and you're working with the objections. And the last one, when you are saying, okay, come on, these objections are really close to the truth, but let me say about advantages. Yes, there are always trade-off. You take something, but this could be lack of something because of the price or quality of some other issues. But to be honest, let's be thinking about this. At this moment, I have just this offer. Is it worth or not? How can we make our deal comfortable for both sides?
And when it comes to actually making certain mistakes, when we either objecting on something or we receiving the objections, if possible, let's look at it in two sides. What are the common mistakes people make here?
First, just deny or do not take into account. There is a saying that when Russian people are objected, they are trying to be loud. But when, for example, American people are rejected by objections, they are trying to speak very distinctively. Получается, американцы говорят очень четко, русские пытаются говорить громко. И вот это неправильный вариант. Second level of mistake is to force your voice to be noisy, to be scandalic, and to make some kind of hooligans steps. Может быть, какие-то обвинения взаимные, может быть, критиковать конкурентов. Это it doesn't help, потому что это выглядит очень так некрасиво и несерьезно. И третий уровень ошибок, который может быть, это обидеть человека персонально, намекнуть, что он не разбирается. Но, опять же, вот есть ситуации, при которых можно это все перевести в хорошую шутку. И для этого нужно, конечно, записывать вот эти вот сложные ситуации, которые были, и потом думать, а как можно было красивее выучить, красивее изложить ситуацию, красивее перевернуть. И I have a hope that we will discuss this on the topic which called reflection.
So probably when we look into this case, it somehow reminds me something that you said earlier. When you're discussing something, don't go to the personal level, but rather discuss either the role or the situation and be in that kind of a box. So people who are going to have an objection, obviously they might be having certain experience or skills. So what are the skills that they need to have in order to make the objection efficient?
You're right. There are several levels. First, people could have expectation, but they maybe look at your proposal for the very first time, and they have never they are making the search of the market. So, for example, I am trying to buy a first pig ever, but I didn't look to another pigs, and you first person I came, and my mistake would be I have image of the pig in my head, but this doesn't совпадает.
Compares matches.
Matches doesn't match to the real peak, да? Бывают люди, которые ожидают, что гостиница 5 звезд будет какая-то такая-то, которую они себе нарисовали. А второй уровень ошибок, он возникает от того, что люди не понимают, что они неприятны, противны, злы, агрессивны и уже входят in the conversation from the third sentences, с третьего предложения. Как это выглядит? А почему у вас что-то? И вот получается, вот это обидно звучит. И я такой все время говорю вещь, что пытайтесь говорить с первого предложения. Добрый день, я приехал из Сингапура. Я бы очень хотел как бы номер с хорошим видом, потому что у меня далекий полет был, и я буду всего лишь один день. А вот если вы говорите, почему мне достался плохой номер, то, знаете, есть такая шутка, да? Why? Because, да? И вот для людей, которые не говорят, наверное, на русском, это будет смешно, но в русском языке есть такой подход, да? То есть как бы не пытаются аргументировать и говорят, the life doesn't make any judges. И последний вариант – это когда мы начинаем иметь как бы завышенные претензии, потому что мы надуваемся как пузырь, as a bubble, и мы пытаемся быть там, выдавать себя за других людей. Мы там говорим, что мы там принц, барон, там какой-то суперблогер. В гостиницах это буквально на каждом шагу. Приходят люди и говорят, я имею 1000 подписчиков, я суперблогер, мне бесплатные ужины и так далее. И когда говорят, вы знаете, как бы мы, конечно, рады вас видеть в качестве блогера, но нам было бы интереснее, если у вас было 10 миллионов подписчиков, и последние там 20 фотографий имели бы, например, ну, хотя бы там по 25 тысяч лайков.
Yeah, sometimes objections might be hitting so high wall, so it's might not be even reaching to the end point. And I also would like to have a look into objections from the different levels of or sectors of life, like a personal life, objections in business, or objections at work. And even at work, actual objections, I do believe, might be to a different levels, either to peers, to team members, or even to the stakeholders. So what are the specifics of those different segments when it comes to objections?
When you're talking about your personal life with your husband or with your wife, you should understand that you are not against each other, but you are both against the problem. So do not try each time to win. Sometimes you could lose, but other person would be happy about this, and this worth of such a behavior. When you're talking to peer, you should understand that any person is независимый, independent, and can have, for example, bad mood or other point of view, maybe other wish, and you should just live with it. So make peace by yourself, but not to force others to do what they don't want. When you're talking to your boss, when you're talking to someone who is higher on the level of hierarchy in your life, probably you should consider several ways to go from this point to another, because if you ask people to think how to solve your problem, sometimes light could hit not the right tree. But if you will offer several ways, maybe this choice would be made more wisely.
Well said about the tree. And I do believe, yes, when you're trying to talk to someone, try to walk in their shoes first, then make a point. And my last question will be how knowing about objections could help to make this world a better place.
A lot of people who are thinking that objections are type of aggressions. Yes, sometimes it is, but not often. When you are smiling, when you come inside, when you polite person, when you used to objections, you would work with them like a ball in tennis, which are flying in your face. Yes, you could be slapped, or you could take your rocket and take it away. So you just be tricky, you can be very smart and dynamic.
Готовьтесь, планируйте, смотрите на ситуацию глазами другого участника и помните, что есть пуленепробиваемый аргумент, который называется «Ой, все», а мы рассмотрели навык возражения и чем он полезен именно вам. Всем мира!